This car belonged to my grandfather. He drove it across the country in 1912. It sat here for over 6 years People told me it was too far gone, that I was wasting my time. But I've never walked away from something worth saving.
For decades, this magnificent machine has waited here, a ghost of the Gilded Age, undisturbed by the modern world.
Hidden away for decades, the 1910 Thomas Flyer, once a symbol of luxury, now rests in forgotten decay.
The Thomas Flyer, once a symbol of luxury, now rests here, a forgotten relic of a bygone era. And there it is, the 1910 Thomas Flyer, hidden away for decades.
The 1910 Thomas Flyer, characterized by its sweeping terracotta fenders, shows extensive decay.
This 1910 Thomas Flyer, once a symbol of luxury, now sits decaying. Discovered deep within the barn, the Flyer's terracotta paint is faded, its brass tarnished. This 1910 Thomas Flyer, once a symbol of luxury, now sits in forgotten decay. A masterpiece of its time, the 1910 Thomas Flyer. Left untouched in this barn, forgotten for decades in this barn, the Thomas Flyer's interior is a study in decay. This 1910 Thomas Flyer tells a story not just in its faded paint, but deep beneath the chassis.
Succinct. The canvas canopy has completely collapsed, revealing the dust-caked leather interior. Note the disintegrated state.
Okay, that's the driver's side door panel. The brass is heavily pitted. Moving to the rear wheel now.
Condition note 12, brass fitting cracked near the headlight mount, sketching the fracture here. Also noted significant dry rot on the wheel spokes.
Keep it coming slow, easy now. All right, stop right there. Easy now, take up the slack slowly. Cable's tight, looks good back here. All right, that's secure. Take up the slack slowly.
Once the blanket is draped over the brass fittings, we tighten the heavy ratchet straps across the chassis, ensuring the Flyer is secure for the journey ahead. The Thomas Flyer, once a symbol of American luxury, begins its long journey home.
All right, bring her right inside. That is gonna be a lot of work getting that thing running again.
Okay, easy now, watch the spokes.
Clear on this side, keep it coming.
We're using a professional-grade electric washer here, making sure the turbo nozzle is secured before the first spray test on the tiles.
This 1910 Thomas Flyer, once caked in a century of grime, is finally revealing its true colors.
The wheel hubs are particularly challenging.
We're blasting away over 100 years of packed dust and grime here.
We're applying a heavy-duty foam degreaser now. Watch as it breaks down that century-old crust of oil and rust scale. Decades of accumulated grime are finally being washed away, revealing the original rust-red cast iron of.
As you can see, the pressure washing revealed the true extent of the corrosion. These rust-through holes are significant.
Severely bowed iron rib shows cracking under flex pressure. The decay in the canvas is causing tearing at the connection point, releasing mold spores.
There we go. Set it right here.
Wow, you can finally see the clearance. The proportions are incredible.
Keep cranking. I think it's moving.
I've oiled the mount.
Hold tight. She finally broke free.
Mounted here on the stand, the full extent of the corrosion is visible. Deep rust, sheared bolts, and
Finally got it free. Wow, that rubber is completely shot.
Inside the blast cabinet, high-velocity steel grit strips away decades of rust, a critical step in restoring this historic chassis.
Revealed at last, the bare metal chassis of the 1910 Thomas Flyer. The sandblasting process has exposed.
Steady now, easy on the chains.
It's starting to bubble already.
Beneath the grime and decades of neglect, the original terracotta factory color begins to emerge.
Mapping the rust is the first critical step before any new metal can be fabricated.
Here we see the new steel being shaped. This patch will replace the corroded section of the original terracotta body.
To avoid warping the thin metal, we apply the MIG weld in short, controlled tacks, slowly building the seam on this historic panel.
we apply the filler in thin, even layers, using long strokes to ensure everything is perfectly level before the final sanding.
We start with the 80 grit to knock down the high spots. Once we get the shape right, we switch to the 320 and add water for a smoother finish.
We use a 400 grit wet paper to work the primer. As you can see, the slurry starts running down, leaving this perfectly flat surface.
I can't get this last one to budge. Lean into it, it has to give. There she goes. All right, help me lift it.
Be careful with that drift, it's really stuck.
I know, there we go.
The 1910 Thomas Flyer block requires absolute precision. Here we see the cylinder boring machine at work. All the new parts are laid out in assembly order, ready for the next stage of the restoration. After ensuring the crankshaft spins freely in the oiled shells, we install the caps. The compressor ensures the rings are flush before the piston is gently tapped into the bore. Finally, the connecting rod bolts are torqued precisely. Critical to follow the three-stage sequence, starting at 50 foot-pounds and working up to 100 to ensure an even seal.
The key is the transition from the compound to the clean mop wheel. That's when the mirror finish really starts to emerge.
You have to take your time with the ash, nice controlled strokes to get that perfect fit for the Flyer.
This Thomas Flyer requires meticulous care. We sand it down, then apply the stain in smooth, even passes.
You have to get the curve just right, otherwise it won't fit the original mounts. Let's check the template. This canvas is period correct for the 1910 Flyer. Getting the distinctive silhouette right is crucial for the restoration.
Almost done with this section.
Looks strong, exactly what the Thomas Flyer needs.
The quality of this dark chocolate leather is exceptional, a perfect match for the 1910 Flyer. The springs are inserted into the original frame and then hand-laced. This gives the seat its initial structure before we add the padding.
Comparing the swatch to the test card, the match is close, but I need to adjust the hue slightly to match the aged patina.
And here we see the first coat of the iconic terracotta. It's a slightly translucent layer, but already you can see the car's original spirit returning.
All right, steady now. Bring it down another inch. Watch the mounts.
Looks aligned. Slow, slow.
Okay, it's seated. All right, lift on 3. 1, 2, 3. It's seated. Pass me the wrench for the U-bolts. That gap is still slightly wide on the fender.
I'll adjust the pressure before the final tightening. The mirror-polished brass fittings, seen here being reinstalled, highlight the original quality of this 1910 Thomas Flyer. The Thomas Flyer, a symbol of American luxury at the dawn of the automobile age, restored to its former glory.
A little more to the left.
Okay, feels secure.
Beautiful. That tufting pattern is spot on. Come on, you beast. Whoa, steady now.
After 6 decades, the Thomas Flyer moves again, a testament to meticulous craftsmanship.
6 years she sat in that barn, and today, she runs again. My grandfather would have loved this. If you want to see every step of this restoration from the barn to this moment pride, subscribe, it's all here. Every car has a story worth saving.